Transfer funds to capital improvement, Article 4, stabilization fund.
Town meeting in April created a capital improvement stabilization fund, which allows us to offset our long-term debt borrowing costs going forward. What we'd be looking to do is to close out the surplus that remains in the Eisenhower Pond Park account and the sale of town-owned land, both of which are items that are appropriate for bonding, and transfer those small balances into this account so that it can be used for future debt service costs incurred by the town.
I would also mention, because we have this money that we're going to put into the fund, is one of the reasons why the board decided to lower the debt ceiling and apply $150,000 for 2010 and 11 against the debt, which flows into operating revenue stream. And then fund snow and ice deficit, we've already talked about that. This is what we plan on doing that. Any questions regarding that? We get into our regular town meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, yes.
as far as funding the sales deficit, I know that you said that we're going to do that in the upcoming budget discussion. Is that absolutely necessary, and is there any other way of putting that off till we get a better handle on our finances for the rest of the year?
The problem, Ian, as I said, is that we have to fund that. If we let it go like we've done in the past, as you recall, last year in October, we funded a fairly large snow and ice budget from some money that we had. We don't anticipate having any free cash in October. So what will happen is that money will come right off the cherry sheet, basically. And as a result, we'll have less money, less revenue to operate. The concern we have here is this money essentially is the $229,000 of free cash is free cash for FY 2009 may not be, even if we don't spend it, free cash for 2010. It's a little hard to explain why, but what happens is because we anticipate and have seen a growing number of tax liens or unpaid taxes, those are subtracted off of the free cash. So until that goes positive, we have no free cash. So the best thing we can do at this point is to spend it in April. We have, it's financially the right thing to do at this point. Did that answer your question? All right. Yes.
Just, there's one additional special town meeting warning.
Oh, did I miss?
Well, we have
All right, what I've left off is on the special town meeting, we're transferring funds from the ambulance enterprise account, $20,000 to the fire department. And this is to
for the automated trip ticketing for the ambulance.
it's for automated trip ticketing for the ambulance, which will save us some money. And then the next item is the transfer of jurisdiction of the high school football field and track area.
Yes, I
Okay. Oh, I see they've been outside. Presentation, and Dean will come back.
Gets us back in order.
The turf committee is going to make a presentation on 2 articles regarding a special town meeting. No, who's going to draft this?
Didn't go off the roof.
Good evening. I'm Mel Webster, Chairman of the School Committee. We just spent about, I don't have my lunch on tonight, but at least a couple of hours discussing the turf field issue with the turf field committee and other representatives from the towns and one from the Hillview Commission. It's a complicated item. We believe we have come to some pretty good agreement tonight. The school committee voted unanimously to request the selectmen to place 2 articles on, I believe it will be a special town meeting warrant. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We have amended both articles. The first one is a pretty simple amendment, which I'll discuss, and the second one is more complicated, and obviously I can't handle that, so I'll have Mr. Venezia do that. The first article that we approved to request the selectmen to put on the April town meeting, special town meeting warrant is titled Synthetic Turf Field at North Reading High School, and I want to read it as we approved it as amended. It simply states, to see if the town will vote the sum of $2 million to be used in conjunction with private funding and/or grants and to be expended by the Recreation Commission for parklands with the approval of the Hillview Commission for the replacement of the high school football field with a synthetic turf field, renovation of the track and field complex, and related amenities, and that the treasurer, with the approval of the Board of Selectmen, be authorized to borrow for $2 million in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 7, 25. Said $2 million debt to be repaid from the earnings of the Hillview Enterprise Fund. So the school committee has voted tonight to request the selectmen put that on a special town meeting warrant with that wording. And I'll let Jerry address the second warrant item which we approved to request tonight.
Just so everybody knows, any monies to fund something like this would come from the Hillview Commission, and those monies, there are people in the room that are more astute explaining how those monies can be used than I am. But the second article requires a transfer of the football complex or the football field to the Hillview Enterprise in order to do this. So that the Hillview is going to expend the $2 million to fund this project through bonding. They have to actually have ownership of the property. So the issue is whether or not the school department will vote. And this is a vote to put this on the warrant, not to do it, but to put it on the warrant for the April town meeting. And again, the article would transfer the property that the high school football field is on to the Hillview Commission. And we did add as a condition of doing that it's in accordance with a memorandum of understanding executed by and between the school department to protect our rights for high school athletics and the Hillview Commission and the Recreation Department. So that's what the second article would do. And again, this is to get it on the warrant for April town meeting, coming up against some deadlines. At that time, the town meeting would vote on it. If there's no memorandum of understanding, or if the school committee votes not to do the transfer prior to town meeting, then this article would essentially become moved at April town meeting. But again, the funds for this are coming from the Hillview Commission and from private fundraising. It has nothing to do with any appropriation for any town budget. And the school committee vote was unanimous on both articles, to put both articles on the warrant.
Good evening. I'm Tom Tower, and I'm representing the North Reading Turf Committee, and I'd like to thank the Board of Selectmen certainly the school committee for all of their support this evening, the members of the town of North Reading, and all of the other at-large members of the North Reading Turf Committee for allowing this opportunity this evening. Before I get into who exactly the Turf Committee members are and what our mission is, I'd like to kind of give an idea of what our objective will be this evening. And our objective is to present a comprehensive proposal to the Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee. We've already presented to the School Committee, and Secondary School Building Committee. We'll be doing that in detail within the next couple of weeks. And the registered voters of North Reading for planned improvements to the high school field and the adjacent practice field. This article is an integral part of the Parks and Recreation Department and School Department's short and long-term vision and planning for fields and open space to be utilized by the entire community. Now, we hope that we render a very detailed proposal this evening and give you an idea of exactly what we are presenting so that you have an informed basis of knowledge so that you can make a decision and the Board of Selectmen can move this thing forward and support. The agenda this evening, originally we actually had Larry Diamond, who was going to represent the Hillview Commission to outline the current financial position of the Hillview, and he was going to present a 5, 10, and 15-year bond schedule to demonstrate that the Hillview Commission is very comfortable with the fact that they've got the available funds to support this project. And it's unfortunate that Larry has taken ill. He's actually in the hospital for some tests, and he could not make it this evening. But we certainly do have members of the Hillview Commission here. George Stack is here, and Ed Rocco is also representing Hillview, and he's also a member of the North Reading Turf Committee. But we're all comfortable with the fact that the funding is indeed available. In fact, the Hillview is comfortable to the extent that they're actually exploring, in addition to the appropriation of funding for this project, some additional projects as well. We're going to outline exactly who the Turf Committee is, what our mission statement is, kind of give you a chronology of support and approvals that we've gone through that has brought us in front of you all tonight, some critical actions and risks associated with those actions, where we're actually going to conduct and place this renovated field, why, and why does it have to happen now. The funding, of course, and then we're going to turn it over to Mike O'Neill to talk about program development and the detailed cost breakdown. And then Mike will also talk about the timing of the project and its completion, and then there will be some closing comments made by Rita Mullins. Mike?